solving stuff. Remember when we had the problem yesterday and I said, y be the amount of money that Cora has. So we called y the amount of money that Cora has. And then we said that Quincy has $4 more than Cora. So we said y plus 4. And then you guys started to try to solve it. Do you guys remember that? They're like, what if Cora has $10? And what if Cora has negative $5? And what if Cora has blah, 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 right? Well, what if Cora has $10? If Cora has $10, how much money does Quincy have? 14. If Cora has $5, how much money does Quincy have? 9. So you guys were able to do that really, really easily because you just needed to be able to know, all right, how much more money does... What if I tell you that Quincy has $15, how much money does Cora have? Can you go backwards? 11. So you guys were able to go in both directions. That's today. We're just taking yesterday and taking it a step further. So let's do this, okay? It says Greg has, well, those are already done for us. Let's go down. Abby read 8 more books than Kristen in the first marking period. So first quarter, Abby read 8 more books than Kristen. Abby is one of those kids who stays up too late at night reading, and I support her on that. Okay, 100% I had a flashlight in my bed when I was little. Write an expression for the number of books Abby read. So the first thing we gotta do is we gotta come up with names for our variables. We need to know what we're calling these things. So that's our first step. Description with units. So what do we want to call these things?
K for Christine.
K is the number of books that Kristen read. Gotta tell our units. Kristen read. And what's our other one gonna be?
Maybe A for how many Abby read.
A is the number of books Abby read. Do we have units? The units are number of books. Can books be a unit?
Yeah.
Sure. How many did you read? I read 5. I read 5 what? I read 5 story problems. I read 5 jokes.
I read 5 snozberries.
I read 5 snozberries. I don't even know what that is. I read the back of 5 peanut butter jars. Like, I don't know, like, what am I reading? Or I read 5 books. I read 5 encyclopedias. Those are all very different things. So we have books. We don't know what kind of books. Maybe they're reading encyclopedias. So the expression, Abby read 8 more than Kristen. So do we start with Kristen or do we start with Abby?
Can you say Christine so it isn't Kristen? Like,
It's Christine. Christine is spelled with an E at the end. Kristen has an E-N. So I'm going to pronounce it the way it's spelled. 8. How do we write 8 more than Kristen?
K plus 8.
K plus 8. Okay, so Nixon did K plus 8 and Hadley was going to do 8 plus K. Which one is right and which one is not right? They're both right. Neither one of these is wrong because you can flip-flop 2 plus 3 equals 3 plus 2, right? But when we have the more than, if you put it on the end, it gets you in the habit of doing it on the end. Does order matter when it's less than?
Yes.
Order matters a lot when it's less than. Does order matter when it's more than? Not really, no, because you can flip all you want. Just be careful on the lessons, okay? So, Kristen read 9 books. So now we're going to figure out how many books that Abby read. So we know that Kristen read 9 books. So anywhere I see a K, what am I going to substitute in? 9. So I'm going to do 8 plus 9. How many books did Abby read?
17.
17! I read 17 books. Go, Abby, go. Now, we don't know if Kristen is reading War and Peace and Abby is reading the Babysitter Chronicles, right? Like, we don't know like how their books compare, but we know that Kristen read 9 of them and Abby read 17. Do you guys see how this works?
Yeah.
17 books.
Trisha Phillips, will you please come to the office to check out? Trisha Phillips.
So, let's do the next one. So variable choice is important because you need to be able to remember what your variables stand for, okay? But you guys chose K for Kristen and A for Abby, so it worked pretty well. What if you have Isaac and Isaiah in the same story problem? What are you gonna do? Are you just gonna like fall over and cry? Go find a nice cozy place to have a
A and B.
A and B, or U and
Were you gonna move
U and E.
what?
Were you gonna move Nixon? No, Isaac.
Isaac and Nixon. I think I just did a new seating chart on Monday. Let's mix things all up. But yeah, Isaac's last name, it starts with a E, and Isaiah starts with a U, so I could use E and U, right?
Yeah.
Except E's supposed to be one of my forbidden ones, but we'll let it pass on that one. Or we could do I and U. You're
No, we
forbidden.
can't do I.
No, we can't do I. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll figure it out. We can do capital letter I. All right, Abby read 6 more books than Kristen in the second marking period. So second quarter, Abby read 6 more. Do we need to get different units? Now, can we copy that? Oh, we can copy that. Do little quotes on your thing. Quote, quote. That means we're copying it. Will I let you do that? Yes, because why? Because number 1, mathematicians are lazy. Number 2, we only have 15 minutes left in class. So let's make our lives easy. Okay. So,
Wait, what?
all right, Abby read 6 more books than Kristen. So how do I write that? 6, K plus 6.
Or 6 plus K.
Or 6 plus K. Does it matter? It does not. But here we have 6 more than K. So it's on the same pattern as the 6 less than K. So, so this time we know that Abby, so 6K plus 6 is Abby. Oh, we just didn't use the A. But this time we tell us that Abby read 20 books in the second marking period. So how many did Kristen write? Let me teach you guys something. This one is an easy one, and you can do it in your head. Nixon and Isaac, I'd like to show you guys something. There is going to come a point in your future, and I am going to be your teacher at that point, probably, when you can't do these in your head. How many books did Kristen read? 14. You can do this really easily, but I want to teach you the process so that when the day comes that you can't do it easily, and it's coming, we can do this methodologically. We have added 6 to that K. What undoes addition?
Subtraction.
You guys remember that whole day where we were doing and undoing and it was stupid?
Yeah.
This is what we were prepping for. We're gonna undo this addition. But here's the deal. We have an equal sign is like a scale, okay? And if I want my equals to balance, if I take away 6 on one side, what do I have to do on the other side to make it balance? I have to take away a 6 on the other side so they balance. If I take away 2 6s, now it doesn't balance either, so it needs to be the same. This is how I say it. You have to do it, or else it's going to be crap. So those go away, because 6 minus 6 is 0. And we undid what we did. And we end up with K equals, what's 20 minus 6?
14.
14. Now, can you do that in your head?
Yes.
Yes, you can. But I want to teach you how to do it not in your head, because I'm just telling you, there's gonna, I just am prepping you, all right? So, let's look at some of these and see. Some of these are gonna have patterns to them that we can predict. We've got Janie's sister. Let's look at this one. Janie's sister is on the 3rd page. Is exactly 2 years older than she is. She thinks sharing a birthday is both fun and annoying. Every year on their birthday, they have a party, which is fun, but her sister always brags that she's 2 years older than she is. Like that's something you can brag about because you can control when they're born. And then they have a table of their ages. So I want you guys to look at that pattern. When Janie was 0, how old was her sister?
2.
When Janie was 2, how old was her sister?
4.
4. When Janie was 4, how old was her sister? 6. So what pattern do you see?
It always is 2 more than James.
It's always 2 more than Janie's, which is kind of a duh because they told us that she's 2 years older, right? So, can we follow this pattern? On the day Janie turned 8, how old was her sister? 10. You guys can add 2. Good job. On the day she turned 16, how old was her sister?
18.
You guys don't even have the table for that, and you were able to do it. So how do we write this as a formula? What is her sister's age equal to? What do we want to call Janie's age? What do we want to call Janie? J? I'm down. So how do we write this? What's her sister's age always going to be?
J plus 2.
J plus 2. So if Janie lives to be 112, how old will her sister be?
114.
114. Do we need a table for that? Do you guys want to make a table with 112 little spots in it? No, because we can have this equation and we can use it. Does it work for half ages? What if Janie's 10 and a half? How old is her sister? 12 and a half.
Can we just put any number we want?
Well, no. Oh, on the extend the table. Do you need to extend the table to be able to figure this out? No, because we could just do this, which I think that's actually one of the questions is to do that.
Yeah, it is.
What if you don't know how old Janie is? There we go, letter A on the back. Use a variable for her age. Oh, they said let Y equal her age. We let J equal her age. Am I going to make you redo that? No. Can you develop an expression to determine how old her sister is? Now, they chose Y, and we chose J. Does it matter which variable we choose? As long as everybody knows what we're talking about, okay? We're going to add that. So on our last row, we've got this variable. We're going to be able to say the sister is equal to J plus 2. So Janie's age might be J, and her sister's age is J plus 2. And then you can figure that out. If you know her sister's age, can you figure out Janie's age? What about when her sister is 50? How old will Janie be? 48. What about when her sister is... You guys can figure this out. But it's pretty straightforward stuff that we're doing today. How does everybody feel?
Good.
Hadley, you still look like your dog died. I know you don't have it. Maybe you're just really sad because you never had a dog.
My mom hates animals.
Oh, that's sad.